So you're in your very first year of starting your clothing brand and you're wondering to yourself, what am I doing wrong? Or how do I keep staying consistent? Or why is this not working for me? Or you're ready to give up. And there's many more options you could be going through right now inside of your head during your first year of starting your clothing brand. So I'm making this video to give you everything you need to know during your first year of starting your brand. Let's go ahead and jump into the video right now. Yo, what's up y'all? So it's your boy Dantes Akram, aka The Real Tez, and in today's video, we're gonna be sharing some secret gems that is very important for any and every person who is in their very first year of starting their clothing brand. Now, if you're in your clothing brand phase right now of starting, right, and you haven't really gotten started yet, I highly recommend watching one of my other YouTube videos that will be able to assist you. However, for right now, this video is specifically for people who are looking for more information after their clothing brand has already been started. All right, so this is for you, okay? So the very first thing is do not lose confidence, okay? I understand it's the very first year of you starting. You've probably had some ups and downs. You probably have had peak days, like really good days. You probably had really bad days. You've had drops that went in your favor, and then you've had drops that didn't go in your favor. However, what I want you to understand is that if you start losing your confidence, then what happens is the discipline that was once there when you first got started slowly starts drifting away. Now, what I mean by that is, in the beginning when you first started your brand, you were super confident, you were super, you were super aware of everything that you were doing. You were trying to make even more content, you were trying to better your website, you were just being a student to the game. And what I've learned after being in the clothing brand space for almost 4 years now is that after that first year, you can really have some hurdles in front of you that can hold you back from getting to the next level, which is why I want to help you right now. But I want you to understand that your mindset is everything. If you don't fix your mindset as far as how long you're going to be doing this, it's going to be very hard for you to see this thing through. If you're 1 year in, you are a mile ahead of so many other people. Not saying you should compare yourself, but you should give yourself a pat on the back. So that's what I want you to do right now. Very first thing, give yourself a pat on the back and also keep your confidence. I get it. It's hard. It may be tough. You may not be making the amount of money you want. Whatever it is, see it through. See the vision through. That's why you started it in the first place. Second thing, you should be looking at how to better your conversion rate right now, okay? So if you're a couple months in, a couple weeks in, or even a year in, right? You should be looking at how much traffic am I getting to my website right now? First question. Second question is, where are my best sources? Where is most of my traffic coming in from? Is it coming in from ads? Is it coming in from Instagram? Is it coming in from TikTok? You need to hone in on these small analytical points so you can start focusing on doubling down on what you're already doing. So if you figured something out that worked for TikTok, do more of that thing that's working. If you don't have a TikTok shop, you should go ahead and set that up like yesterday, 100%, all right? So that's the next thing is you wanna start looking at your conversion rate and also look at your website, right? So look at the things on your website that could be better. Could you have even better product pictures, right? Could you do an even better photo shoot? Could it be higher quality? Could you add certain buttons to your website that will make it quicker for people to check out or even easier for them to check out, right? Did you test around with different shipping prices or different shipping incentives? These are all things within your first year that most people sleep on that you should continuously, meticulously look at, okay? The third thing is that you wanna write down all of the things that you're constantly changing within your business. The reason this is important is because you don't wanna change too much in a very small period of time because you never know what works and what doesn't work, okay? So for example, if you're testing something out on your website and you wanna know if it works, change the one thing, the one variable, and then wait a week to see how it changes your conversion rate, how it changes, your traffic, or whatever thing you're changing. Look at things over a week time frame and only change one thing at a time. Now, if you're in the beginning stages of building your website and you're just now really starting to try to get it up and running and things like that, that really doesn't apply to you. You can change multiple things at a time. But if your brand is already up and running, you have some sales, you've made a couple hundred sales or a couple thousand sales, whatever you're at right now, right? You honestly want to look at your website and just focus on increasing that conversion rate and making sure it's as easy as possible for people to navigate throughout your website, okay? Number 4, I think we're on number 4. The fourth tip that I would give you if you're in your very first year of starting your clothing brand is start being ahead of trends, okay? So if you look at like fall or winter, you wanna start prepping for your drops at least 2 to 3 months in advance. And you wanna start getting in the habit of doing this. So what I would do is if you're gonna be doing drops, I recommend having collections already ready to go before you start doing a drop. Okay, doesn't matter if it's a pre-order, doesn't matter if it's a live drop, doesn't matter which one it is. I highly recommend that you at least have something in the catalog, in the vault. So if you've watched any of my other YouTube videos, I talk about this a lot, which is having a vault of different pieces that you plan on dropping in the future. The reason this is important is because not only can you constantly stay up to date on your design tactics, your strategies, and all those different things, but the more important part about all of this is that once you have a collection of different items, the organization and how you drop becomes different. Because the person who's not organizing their jobs, doesn't have collections, never has a vault of items that they want to drop, they're constantly just trying to find something and then drop immediately. It doesn't allow you to really focus on how you're doing it, because the method at which you're doing it at is very, very important. Okay, so the timing of your drops, how you do it, what holidays it's around, how you do it during the holidays, the duration of it. These are very, very important things that a lot of people sleep on. Even the very first email and first text message that you send out is very important. Okay. Now, the next tip, number 5, is going to be automatic emails and automatic text messages, okay? Now, the reason these things are very important for you to focus on after your year in business is because a lot of people don't look at the abandoned cart emails. They don't go back and look at the abandoned cart text messages. They don't look at how their campaigns are being sent out via email. These are all things that you want to start pinpoint and focusing on. So if you're not using AI, if you're not using ChatGPT, make sure you guys go check out one of my YouTube videos on AI and ChatGPT where I break it down to you. However, each and every text message and email, you shouldn't be writing yourself. Honestly, you can actually have AI do it for you, but obviously you still want to have the culture of your brand incorporated somewhere in that email and in that text message. So that's very important. Go back and look at the first email that's sent out, how your emails are being sent out, the text messages that are being sent out. Are all of your emails going to the junk mail of somebody's email? These are all things that you want to start looking at. If you're using Klaviyo or SMS Bump, these are all options that you do have when it comes to using those platforms, okay? Now, next, number 6, the next thing that you need to know during your first year of business or your first year of having your clothing brand, okay? The next thing that you want to look at is your taxes, okay? Now, if you're in your first year of taxes or your first year of business, you probably don't have a crazy amount of taxes because of all the things you had to pay for. So you had your expenses of products. You had your expenses for shipping, and then you had your expenses for apps and fees, little fees that you probably aren't really noticing, but will probably add up at some point in time. Now, what I would say is start putting aside anywhere from 25% to 30% of the money that you are making. Please, guys, do not get messed up on taxes. Once you fall behind, it can be very difficult for you to catch up, and you do not want to take any loans out to pay the taxes back because the taxes already have interest on them. And I think it's like 5 to 7% or something like that. So with that being said, it's very, very important that you are putting away money right now. If you're a year in, then you should definitely be starting to put some money aside, because hopefully if you're watching these videos, if you're inside of Limitless Investments, inside of my Discord community where we build clothing brand owners like yourself to 5 and 6 figures a month, then you probably know that after your first year, that's when you that's when you start figuring things out. And once you start figuring things out, you have a couple big days. Now you know what works. Now you have a couple big weeks. Now you know how that works. Now you have a couple really big months. Now the money's starting to come in and out of your bank account, and although you're probably not paying as much attention to it because you're constantly working on the brand, constantly on making sure that it evolves and it keeps going up, the thing is that IRS, Uncle Sam, they keep track of every dollar. So make sure that you have your business account set up, make sure that you're putting aside 30% of the money that you are making, and make sure you guys are aware of the expenses that you guys are having and paying for, because at the end of the day, once taxes come out, that's the real profit you're left with, whatever's in the account. So those are things that are very, very important that you want to keep note of. Okay. Next, number 7, I would make sure that you guys are having more frequent photo shoots. Now, this one is one that's kind of, but I feel like after your first year, this is how you're going to be able to not only keep the momentum, but this is how you're going to be able to constantly have more and more eyes on your brand. Your brand awareness and how you go about your photo shoots, how many times you're posting, these things are very important things when it comes to people or traffic coming in from an ad, coming in from a TikTok, and being able to just keep up to date with all the stuff that's going on. Because if you're running ads right now, but you don't have any recent content for somebody to engage with, then it's going to be a little bit harder for them to want to shop with you or even trust your brand. Trust is everything. So you want to make sure you have reviews on your brand. You want to make sure that the shipping policies, all the terms and agreements, terms of service, all of that stuff, you want to make sure all of that stuff is correct, it's up to date, it's accurate. You want to make sure that your website is as trustworthy as possible, because that's usually what happens with most clothing brand owners. The reason their conversion rate is low, the reason they're not getting any sales, the reason they're 1 year in and not really where they want to be is because they're not being meticulous about those things. 8 is start observing other apps that are out there, other Shopify apps. Start looking at other YouTube videos. Stay a student to the game while you're in your first year of business. I'm 3-4 years into business and I'm still a student to the game. I never stop learning. I never stop chasing after, my curiosity. So what I would say is start looking up other Shopify apps that may be working for other brands, okay? So that's another very, very big one. Make sure you guys are staying up to date with all the different Shopify apps that are out there. See if other ones may be helping, like a heat map. I have a video coming on later walking you guys through how to actually figure out, where your website is kind of messed up, and a heat map for your website will definitely help a lot as well, okay? Next, number 9, okay? The 9th thing. Now, the first 5 were very, very important. Now, these last 2 are extremely, extremely, extremely important, and you do not want to click off of this just yet, okay? So number 9, you do want to make sure that you are focusing on sending out automated emails and text messages sooner, okay? So during your pre-order drops, which you should be having more pre-orders, that way you're not sitting on as much inventory, you want to start being more aware of the timing of your text messages and the timing of your emails that are going out for certain drops. Now, a lot of you may think, oh, that's really not that important. This is probably one of the biggest reasons you haven't had a $1,000 drop or a $10,000 drop or even a $50,000 drop. These are things that I have done over the last few years that have allowed me to achieve these types of things. And all of it really came because I was focused on how I'm reaching out to my clients, my customers, my leads, my audience, and the timing of it, okay? So your text messages, again, you gotta make sure, and I'll probably do another video. So if you guys want a video on walking through your SMS, walking through your emails and the automated emails and text messages that should be set up, I could do something like that if you guys let me know down below in the comments, down below in the comments. But that's one very, 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 very important thing. The 30-minute out text, the 5-minute out text, the 1-hour out text, the just now launched email. These are all things that are very important and a lot of people sleep on. These are things that are gonna help you bring in a couple more sales here and there that are gonna add up over the long run, okay? So that's number 9. Please make sure that you guys are doing this, okay? And then number 10, this one is very important, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not going to be able to reach the levels you want to reach if you don't start learning from other people who have already been there. Taking more notes on courses that you may have bought, or if you went to some webinar or something like that, taking notes on those things is probably the one thing that's holding you back. Okay, so stay a student to the game, stay inspired throughout all of this, and rewatch this whole video again. Write down every single topic. Now, throughout this video, we probably have some type of list where you guys can write them down, so you should have probably wrote them down in the first place. So it's your boy, The Real Tez. I really appreciate you guys for watching another YouTube video. If you aren't subscribed, there's no reason you shouldn't subscribe, so hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave a like if you did like this, and comment down below what YouTube video you want to see next from me. And if you haven't joined the Limitless Investments Inner Circle group, if you haven't joined my #1 clothing brand community in the world, you're tripping. You definitely want to make sure you jump in there, because at the end of the day, the prices is always going up. So it's $60 a month right now. If you click the link down below in the description, we'll see you in the inside where you get attention from me, classes live every single week, and a bunch of other great things as well. So it's your boy Tez Akram, aka The Real Tez, and I'll catch you guys in the next YouTube video. Peace.